Hey Fit Fam, this is Coach Rye from Team Flex. Today we're going to be diving into the Vancouver Pro Bikini, and we're going to look at our top 3 athletes. We're going to look at the real, actual call-out photos, the comparison photos, and go through an analysis, talk a little bit about the criteria, talk about the placings, why they landed the way they did, and most of all, give you more tips out there, those of you that want to compete in bikini or are coaching for bikini, so you can learn the things you need to know to do better on stage. And that's what we do on this channel. So if you're new here, stick around with me and hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. Let's take a look. So Vancouver Pro, and we got some familiar faces in the mix. Ashleykfit is here taking the win. We have Jewel over here taking 2nd place, and then we have Brianna over here taking 3rd. So again, these are the exact call-out photos from this event. This is exactly how it looked. Sometimes I pull just individuals of each person's routine and put them together. Today, we're looking at it the same way the audience saw it, the same way that, the judges saw it, and the way that it was presented on stage. So right out the gate, what we got to go look at is the fact that we know bikini is all about this hourglass shape, and that comes from this muscle base in the upper body that you will see all 3 of these ladies here exemplify very well. Now, there's been, for some reason, some trend going around on social media that, bikini is this beach bikini look, it's this beach physique look, it's not really about weightlifting. Okay, well, let me tell you this. You do not get shoulders like this, anybody out there that thinks that, without lifting some serious weight. So all 3 of these ladies are showing good upper body shape and size in the shoulders, the deltoids, if you will, and that is what creates this upper portion of the hourglass shape. That's the starting piece of it. So the more that you can build your shoulders, the more width you can create. Honestly, the better you're going to do on stage, and it's got to be within criteria. You don't want to get too muscular, too big of shoulders, but you do want to have shoulders that are developed enough to show that shape, show that size, and create that width of the upper body. The next major thing we'll notice right away is all 3 of these athletes very, very close in their midsection, okay? Ashley's, she's got that good tapering in. Jewel here debatably has the smallest waist on this call out. I mean, for sure, she probably has the smallest waist out of that whole class there. And then we look over here at Brianna, and again, a nice taper. So all of these athletes are going to have this taper in. And this is why, again, the shoulders become very important, because it enhances that tapered look. If we can, increase more width up top and taper into a small waist, it creates a very dramatic effect of the hourglass shape that judges are looking for in this bikini division. So this is definitely something you want to know. A lot of bikini athletes think you got to go train your abs hard, you got to go train your abs heavy and do this and that, crunches, oblique twists, all this. You really oftentimes do not want to be doing that. If you're following a good bikini training program, you should be getting what I call plenty secondary ab work, okay? And that means that basically, doing your compound lifts, your deadlifts, your squats, your shoulder presses, a lot of the other exercises that you are doing, you're actually getting intrinsic core work. Your core is working. Your midsection, in other words, is working. And if you go do a bunch of, kind of bodybuilding exercises, if you will, crunches, oblique twists, leg lifts, things like this, what ends up happening is you start to build the muscles in the abs. Yes, that's the point of it. But what that does is actually thicken your waist. And if you thicken your waist, you've reduced your actual potential of that hourglass shape a little bit there, right? So most of the time when you're going to see bikini athletes, if they're doing any abdominal exercise, it's going to be a little bit here and there. It's going to be body weight stuff. I don't have my bikini athletes doing a lot of ab work because, again, my programs, I build them in the way that we're going to get the midsection work the way we need. Really, all you need in the criteria is what judges call flat stomach, meaning you got to hold no body fat in that zone, right? You want to be in the zone where it's a flat stomach, you're not holding extra body fat. That's going to be the real marker there. Now, looking into the lower body, what we should see in bikini is perfect balance, perfect symmetry, perfect kind of harmony of the muscles and the physique. So we want to see in the lower body symmetry. We want to see that match. The upper body, in other words, has to match the lower body. You don't want to be bigger in the lower body or bigger in the upper body. And if we look here, we can see all 3 of these athletes have that to a varying degree, okay? Ashley's got, the good glute shape, upper glute that shows, good hamstring, quads, all this matches really well with her upper body. She's the most symmetrical athlete out of these three and out of her class. And that's, you know, in my opinion, one of the main reasons she continues to win the events she does, or at least is in the top there, is because she's very symmetrical. And she hasn't always been this way. Sometimes I've seen, you know, her upper body's pushing the lower body a little bit here and there. And this, you know, again, a very good look for her, very balanced look. Moving out the call out now, we'll see Jewel here. She's probably next most symmetrical. You can see the glute shape here. You can see the upper glute, quads, maybe a little heavy in the quads. Hamstrings show well. Everything kind of showcases still very good symmetry. It is really more so for her. Maybe just that quad is just a little bit, just peeking out a little bit too much here, a little bit too much size. And looking over at Brianna, I think just a little bit too much muscle overall. Her whole physique looks more muscular to me. Her upper body as well. She's got bigger bicep, tricep, shoulders. And, you know, her lower body, although it does match symmetry-wise, it may be pushing just a little bit, tad too much into how much muscle they want to see in bikini, right? So she's got good upper glute shape, good overall glute, hamstring, quad, all this is good. I do feel like she looks a little bit lower body dominant, and these are going to be factors at this level, you guys. When we're talking about a pro event, we're talking about the littlest of things that can shift placings, and judges are really looking at everything when they are judging these events. So really good lineup, really good physiques there, really good showcasing, conditioning, by the way, for all these three ladies right here, very on par, very similar. And that's where you want to see, you know, the lines, but you don't want to see deep cuts, deep striations, the lines in the delts, the lines in the abs here, which is, again, created from being at the right level of condition, not necessarily from doing a bunch of ab work, some lines in the lower body, the quad glute separation, all this, right? And so that's what we see here. Now let's take a look from the back, because bikini, we're always talking about front and back. And here's where things, you know, they kind of do tighten up a bit in a lot of ways. They look very close in points at this competition, okay? So still in the back, what we want to see in bikini is all this hourglass shape, all the symmetry. All of three of these athletes are going to have this. Now, looking here, Ashley's got the shoulder shape from the back. That's what we want to see. We see the taper here, good upper glute development, overall development, and then the tie-in. This is what we always look at in bikini. Is there a slight separation here with no striation, no deep cuts, no graininess, things like that? And also, is it, you know, at the right level of condition, not too soft, in other words, where we wouldn't even see the tie-in. And that, again, Ashley's nailed it. She continues to do this very well. She's got great balance between her quads and her hamstrings to match her glutes, and it's really overall very symmetrical upper body, left, right look, and that's, again, probably why she's winning this class here. Looking over here, Jewel, great shape to the upper body, good shape overall. Looks a bit to be kind of quad dominant from this back. You know, we start to see the quad sweeping from the outside a bit. This is something that I see a lot of times in wellness. It's one of those areas we look at when we're talking about wellness criteria, is quad sweeping from the back. She does not have quads to the degree of wellness. However, that look could be indicative, like I said, in that front, right? Her quads looked a bit out of balance. When we see this from the back, it could be the case there as well, right? And you could definitely see the quads seem to stand out more than the hamstrings do, and even a little bit more so than the glute tie-in and the overall glutes, right? So maybe rebalancing the lower body a little bit, and that's really all she probably needs, but still pulling a second place here. Very good placing, okay? Looking over here at Brianna now, where I was talking about maybe a little bit too muscular looking, I'm again kind of getting that here, and we can really see that again, kind of like Jewel, where it's in the quads. Big quad sweep, bigger than Jewel's here, a lot more muscle. Lower body does pop pretty well. Good glute shape, upper glute, overall glute, tie-in, everything is there. But again, maybe just pushing the muscularity just a tad too much, and that could be the difference, landing her into that spot where she may just look a bit too lower body dominant here, overall just too maybe muscular, right? So judges seem to reign, you know, true to the criteria, where it's not always just about the muscle. It's not always just about the size. It's always about the shape and how you can fit it on your physique, how your physique is going to look best, and what you do. And that's what bikini's all about. It's this up, down, left, right symmetry. How do you showcase that muscle? How do you present that muscle? And do you have that shape within the criteria, where if you start to get too muscular, that can, score you down? And that may be the case here in this call out, in this lineup. Ashley has really brought the very symmetrical, very dialed in look, and it's right on par with criteria, so she will win the class. However, keep in mind, when we're looking at these pro events, and especially our top three, we are looking at great examples of the criteria overall. If you are an amateur, it doesn't mean you need to look like these ladies to be able to compete, but it does mean that judges are looking looking at this criteria to every degree, all the way down to if it's your very first event. This is what they're going to look for in a true novice class. They want to see those shapes. They want to see, you know, that. It's just going to be to the degree of true novice, not an IFBB Bikini Pro, right? So that's really what we're looking at here. And again, you know, great call out, great lineup, great job to all these ladies. And we will do more competition reviews, more things coming. If there's any comps that you've seen of recent time you want me to cover, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I'm happy to do it. And I want to know what you think. Do you think that Ashley, again, should have won this? Or do you think Brianna should have taken it? Jules should have taken it? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Coach Rye is out.